6 months ago, AI image models weren't good enough for business use cases. Then I had the new model from Google called Nano Banana edit a specific subject inside of a photo, and then it clicked. These models are finally ready for real applications. Think real estate staging, ad creative, ad placement, product mockups, LinkedIn content, fill in the blank. But here's what 99% of people get wrong. They think they need to understand the technical jargon associated to prompting these models, such as the camera angle, the artistic style, the lighting, etc. You don't. I just have AI research the best practices for prompting these given models, give me back the perfect prompt so I can get professional results without being an expert in the space. Let me show you with real examples that you can use today. Alrighty. So as I mentioned, these image models are getting to the point where they can be applied to business applications, specifically tools like Nano Banana, where you can edit images effectively without altering other parts of it. And this comes into play in a variety of applications I've personally experienced myself and or I've seen adjacently. So one easy one is creative for ads. So having 30 variations of creative that you can A/B test and see which one resonates the most. Another one is real estate. You can do staging of a property on the inside or the outside. A common one you'll see on social media is e-commerce. So selling your products and placing them in different scenes so people get an understanding of either how to use it or how it fits on them or whatever else. Another one is presentation visuals. So you can add for presentations, you can add different designs and visuals for those. Landscaping. So I've seen people use this for landscaping where you can show you what the landscape looks like after they've finished, the before and after, and a variety of other use cases. These are just a few that I wanted to share with you. And since this can be applied to so many different applications, one thing I recommend people think about when figuring out where to apply this model is asking yourself a simple question. So anytime you have an image associated to your business, you should ask yourself, can AI do this? Not just can AI do it, but can AI do it better, faster, and cheaper? And you'll be surprised when you start playing with these models, the answer is often yes. But as I mentioned previously, the prompting can be tricky. So if you don't prompt these effectively, the output won't be as good. So it's important to understand, or at least know how to get the AI to pull out all of these aspects that are relevant to the image model you're using so you can get the most out of it. Like I said, we don't need to understand framing. We don't need to understand lens types and lighting and all that stuff. We just need to know how to ask the AI to find it for us. And this is what I recommend giving to the AI in addition to the base prompt I'm going to provide you. So this is going to be the context you want to provide it for the image you're trying to create. So the first thing I recommend thinking about is what's the purpose of the image? So are you trying to sell something? Are you trying to show a room? Are you trying to create general content for social media, etc.? The next thing is there a specific emotion you want the viewer to have when they look at this? Do you want them to laugh? Do you want them to take some sort of action based off of urgency? All the other things. Next is what's the subject matter? So is it a product? Is it a character? Is it a mascot? Is it just a scene without anything inside of it? What are you trying to show? And then if there's any additional specific context you'd provide, I'd recommend providing it as well. So this is going to be the context section of the base prompt I'll show you. And one last pro tip I'll give to you is when you're doing this research and you're asking the AI to find the best practices for a given model, I recommend trying GPT-5 thinking with extended switched on. So this is going to increase the reasoning effort for this model. And you can find this in ChatGPT. I'll show you in a second. Alrighty, so this is going to be the base prompt that sits behind everything. So this is just the skeleton. We're going to add a lot more context to this when we're doing specific tasks, but all in all, this is going to be the base that sits behind everything. And here you can see, we're asking you to research best practices for prompting a specific model. So if you're not using Nano Banana, you'd fill in the model you're using. And that's what this basically calls out to you, not the model. And also we're calling out as of today's date. So you can either leave this as is and the model will figure out what today's day it is, or you can just insert today's date. So you can say September 20th, 2025. And then we're asking it to create multiple prompts based off of the idea that we're going to share below to achieve that specific task. And this is where you would insert all the context that I shared previously. And it's important to note this applies to all the different image models, not just Nano Banana, but all of the different models that people like to use to create images. Hey there, quick pause in your video. This video is brought to you by me. Two things. One, below is a free link to a 30-day AI Insight series. Completely free, you'll get 30 insights in your inbox of how you can apply AI to your business and your work. Second thing is if you'd like to work with me, below are different types of offerings I provide to see if there's a good fit between the two of us. That being said, let's dive back in. Now let's jump into the first example, which is going to be real estate staging. And the goal here is to sell a property. And inside of the property, we can see that we have a bunch of empty rooms, and we want to help the person that's buying the property envision what it would be like if it had different types of furnishing styles. So we're trying to help them envision what the future home would look like. And this is going to be our base prompt for that given task. There's a few things I'll call out here. So first off, we have the base that I shared with you previously. So this is kind of the main base that we're going to use. We're asking you to research best practices for prompting a given model. We're then restating of today's date. So we're getting the most up-to-date information associated to prompting that model as of today because the best practices change over time. We're also calling out a very specific part of this saying that we want the best practices for this model when it comes to editing. So this model both generates images and also edits existing ones. And then down here, we provide context. So we say that this is going to be for the inside of a house that's unfurnished. What we want you to do is we want you to furnish the house without altering anything inside the home itself. So it looks the same just with furniture. And then we ask specifically for it to provide us different styles and give us 4 different prompts that we can play with. So that's our base prompt. What are the results? Here's some of the results. So I'm going to zoom in a bit further so you can see these. And you can see here, we have the input image and the output image. And when looking at these, this is the input image we gave it, and we took the prompt that it provided us, which I'll show you in a second. But you can see the background is identical. We have the same lighting, we have the same windows, we have outlets and switches in the same place. Nothing has changed. All we did is insert some furniture, and that furniture helps the buyer envision what this would look like. That's one example. This is just another example. We're taking an empty area, we're filling it with furniture. Everything has stayed the same. Even the trees in the background have stayed the same, which is pretty crazy in the window. Another example where you can see all the outlets are the same, all the windows are the same, the trees in the background are the same, and then the last example here. Now the question is, how are we doing this? I'm going to show you exactly how. So here is the prompt. I'm going to go up and zoom out a bit. So this is the prompt that I just read off to you that I gave to ChatGPT. When I initially set this up, there's a few things. So down here you can see we have extended thinking switched on. So if you're using GPT-5 Thinking and you have a subscription to Plus, Pro, etc., you're going to have the option to choose the model you want. So we choose Thinking, and then we're going to use Extended for this specific task. So you can see it thought for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Based off of this prompt, it came back with the best practices for prompting this model for editing, and then it gave me the prompts that I wanted. So I have Scandinavian, I have mid-century modern, I have Japandi, if I pronounce that correctly, and contemporary coastal. So if we zoom in on one of these, so if we look at contemporary coastal, we'll see the detail associated to this is pretty insane. It's something that we probably wouldn't understand or think of. And we can see that it's giving it specific guidelines saying preserve the natural brightness, add a gentle sun side highlights and soft shadows. It's giving exact items that should be placed into the house. Below that, it's giving it the palette and materials. So white, sand, sea glass, blue, all these things I would never think of. I know nothing about interior design, but the model does. It can research these things, it can understand it, and they can provide back best practices, not just on what to insert and ask the prompt, but also how to structure it. Because you can see it's put a negative item down here. I know from reading that Nano Banana, if you add a negative down here with a colon, it's likely going to avoid inserting items or messing things up. And also at the end, it gives it an export for the aspect ratio. These are all things that you wouldn't understand unless you studied how to prompt these models. But the beautiful thing is we don't have to. We can just ask the AI through these types of prompts, have it research it, and then bring us back expert level prompts that we can make slight tweaks to and iterate on to get high quality images back for our use cases for our businesses. And that's the use case for real estate. But the swapping of items isn't just specific to real estate. We can apply this to a variety of other things. We can apply it to clothing. So maybe we have apparel that we want to put on different people. Or maybe we have products that we want to put in different types of scenes, holding it in your hand, wearing it, etc. We could do landscaping, like I mentioned previously, and then all types of modifying of backgrounds. So just think about images and your products and placing them in different places for different reasons, for ad creative, sales, etc. Now let's look at a fun example that I like to apply for my own LinkedIn content. So my goal with this content is to create compelling imagery that's aligned with the posts that I'm putting out to then garner people's attention to get more engagement. And here's our base prompt. There's a bit more involvement here. You can see it's a bit longer, but it still follows the same structure. So at the beginning, we have our base where we're saying it to find today's date, research best practices for prompting a specific model, which is Nano Banana. I'm asking it to provide me back 5 prompts that has a compelling scene that has me inserted to it based off the LinkedIn post content. I then come down here and give more context around why I want it to insert me and what I'm going to provide it as a user. I call out here that I'm going to give it a headshot, and I would like to ensure that it adjusts the posture and pose that I have based on the scene that we create. I then call it a fact that I want it to add 1 to 2 words to the scene based off the context of the LinkedIn post I provided. So it's connecting the image to the content. And then this is a kind of a hard lesson learned that I've realized through the process of using this prompt is that I want it to make sure that each prompt is standalone. So I should be able to easily copy it out and put it into Nano Banana for it to create for me. So they should never be intertwined. They should always be standalone for each one of the prompts provided back. And so what does this look like? Well, the interesting thing with humans is that we can discern the slightest difference in someone's face, especially if it's ours. And when doing this, oftentimes the output I would say is really good. And sometimes it's almost kind of uncanny perfect. And there's also a small percentage of the time where it's completely off base and it looks nothing like me. But the ability to maintain consistency in my facial structure and to convince me that it's me is really impressive. So here's an example of the headshot I put in and the output I got. Another example here, another headshot, another output, and then input, output. So here are just some examples of me playing with different types of visuals. Now that we've seen the output, let's look at how we came to this conclusion. So this is the chat here that I had. So I pasted in the exact prompt I just read off to you. And then below that, I have the LinkedIn post that I want to act as inspiration for the scenes it's going to create. And here I put it inside of XML tags, and those tags are just allowing us to make it easier on the AI to know what's the difference between the instructions and the LinkedIn post. And then down here, we have the output. So we have best practices, and then below we have all the prompts that we can copy and paste into Nano Banana to then get the outputs. And let's look at some of the output of one of these. So here's an example we'll look at. So the title is Star Not Quality or something like that, and it starts with composite using attached headshot. They'll be on a nighttime rooftop scene stylized in the 1990s tech poster. It's adding additional context to what that means. So it's saying halftone textures, bold geometric shapes, subtle chromatic aberrations. See? Some of these I can't even pronounce. So it's adding additions to ensure that the AI understands the specificity and the nuance associated to the image we want to create. It then breaks down how should the person be posing. It's explicitly stating that we should keep the facial identity of the person that was uploaded in the headshot initially. It's giving text to where what text should be placed and where it should be placed, giving camera angles and also different types of millimeters, which is again, I have no idea what that means, but it's useful. And then also having aspect ratios. So this is the input of a prompt, and I want to show you the output. So let me actually show you on Google's AI Studio, which is where you can get free access to Nano Banana. And the limits are very generous. I use it all the time and never hit the limits, so it's very impressive. So to get access to this, it's aistudio.google.com. Once you go in here, you want to select the upper right-hand corner, and you want to make sure you're on Nano Banana. And once you've selected that, then you just upload your image. This is the headshot I uploaded. I copy and pasted the prompt from ChatGPT here, and then below it popped out this. So you can see the image looks a lot like me, just in a different posture and the same shirt, and has all the different items it mentioned previously. And the interesting thing about this specific approach and other approaches is that you can bundle these into GPT projects or custom GPTs. So I can take that system prompt, the one that I showed you previously, we can go back to it. We can take the system prompt and we can shove that into a GPT project and consistently use this on a recurring basis. All I have to do is give it a LinkedIn post, and then it'll give me back the prompts I'm interested in. The same thing applies to the real estate or all the other ones. As you create a system prompt, you give it a input, it then gives back a series of prompts associated to the input provided. So this is a way to systematically scale your ability to create these images for whatever use case you have for your business. And that's it. So as a recap, remember, when you start out, you want to ask AI to research best practices for prompting a given model for the task you have at hand. You want to provide it context to the task when it does the research so it knows how to craft the prompt for your need. You then get back amazing prompts, which then you can iterate on overall as you're getting outputs from Nano Banana or whatever image model you're using until you're satisfied with what the output looks like. And there you go. So if you enjoyed this, please reshare it with your friends. And two things, as I mentioned previously. One is below is a free link to a 30-day AI Insight series. You'll get 30 insights in your inbox of how you can apply AI to your business and your work. If that's interesting, check it out. Second thing is if you'd like to work with me, below are different types of offerings I provide to see if there's a good fit between the two of us. With that being said, around here is likely another video that you're going to love because the YouTube God says so. So check it out.